Yes, it's a bourgeois leadership. You may as well face the reality of it. The day Nelson Mandela, as a condition of leaving prison, promised those whites that their properties would not be nationalized and would not be taken back and redistributed among the natives of South Africa, the game was up then. Yes, you may as well face the reality. And we have this kind of situation all over the continent of Africa, where the original, yes, and it's a joke to talk about Namibia being liberated, with 75% of its most arable land still owned by whites, with this wealth being owned by whites. What kind of liberation are you talking about? When you look at Zimbabwe, that negotiated a so-called treaty or independence, and the whites promised them that after 10 years they would turn the land loose. And when the 10 years were up, the other white nations said, hey, forget about it. And now the African farmers and other people are still without land. Ladies and gentlemen, you got to learn that you got to fight a war to the death. You got to fight a war until your enemy surrenders so that you can dictate the terms. If you fight a war and then you've got to sit at the table and really go through negotiations, you have not won. Now, if you can't dictate the terms of peace, you have not won the war. You see, and we got a lot of that kind of stuff going on in the African situation today. Yes, all over. Because the African situation is worldwide. It doesn't matter where you are. The same politics that inheres in America, inheres in Africa, Central South America, everywhere. It's the same game. Because you have the same what? Domination. Yeah, the domination is global. So you have the same kind of problems. You see, and you have to face that as a reality. If this nation, this South African so-called nation, leaves intact, the white ownership of property and so forth, it's going to change the whole of that continent, because that nation will become the economic engine of the continent. And the African nations on the rest of the continent will trade with it and in many ways become economically associated and dependent on it, which will permit then an even deeper penetration by whites and others into the continent as a whole, under the bogus title of a multiracial society. You have to wake up. You cannot let any leader become a sacred cow to the point where you forget how to perform a realistic analysis on the situation. Because ultimately it is your individual lives and the life of our people that is at question here, not the glory and power of an individual person or leader, but of the people themselves. And so we see this crisis of leadership all over the place. And it is time now for us to move toward its resolution. I think we are in a better position at this point because unlike Du Bois and Washington and the others who were in a sense at the front end of these issues, we have had now 80, 90 years to see what happened. We can measure results.